What's going on? Everything's blurry. You don't remember what happened the night before. All you can recall is falling asleep on your couch after a hectic day at work. You rub the sleep from your eyes, get up, and look around. You're in a tiny studio filled with different trinkets and weird objects. There's a kitchenette next to the door and a small bathroom. You go to wash your face, and when you look in the mirror, you start screaming. Realizing you're being too loud, you immediately cover your mouth with your hands. Your eyes in the mirror are unnaturally large, and your skin and hair are perfect. You touch your face to check if this is real. You can still hear people talking somewhere outside your room. You sit down on your bed, trying to think about what to do. You look out of the window, and the view makes your head spin. You see a magnificent view of a futuristic city from high up. You're probably staying in one of the tallest skyscrapers in the area. It's raining heavily, but the rain somehow looks perfect. There's no wind to make it change the direction. Someone knocks on your door. You duck down, trying to hide. Someone starts rattling the doorknob. They're saying something in a language that sounds like Japanese, and you can't understand what they're talking about. You look through the peephole and spot a woman wearing a funky outfit. She has strikingly pink hair. She doesn't look threatening. Maybe she'll help me. You try to unlock the door, but you fail. And then, the woman just forces the door open. She barges through it, knocking over some things in the process. You fly across the room and land on your bed. She enters, still speaking to you. You try to pay attention, but some weird lines and figures floating around her head keep distracting you. The woman then stops, and judging by her intonation, asks you a question, but you don't reply. She gets angry. Her eyes change shape, and her mouth falls wide open. She grabs your hand and runs through the corridors of the building. All rooms look the same in the nicely decorated hallway. There's a window at the end of the corridor, and no stairs. Nothing makes sense. She breaks through the window, still holding your hand, and flies over an abyss to land on another rooftop. You're screaming, scared out of your wits. You look behind at the building you've just left. You see a bunch of men dressed in black and wearing creepy masks gathering there. Luckily, they don't jump after you. The biggest one must be the leader. He's standing in the middle, eyeing you from behind his creepy mask. You and the girl head into a secluded alleyway. She continues talking to you in Japanese until she finally realizes you don't understand her. She stops speaking and only smiles at you. You look at her in confusion. You ask about the people chasing you in English, and she replies that they're bad people. You can't understand the rest of what she's saying. She tells you a little bit about her story. From what little you've understood, she grew up on the street, having to survive on scraps of food. After a while, she started running some errands for different people to earn a quick buck. But now she's one of the most notorious pickpockets in the whole city. You're confused. You don't know why you're tagging along, or if she's even telling you the truth. You talk to her, but she barely understands you. Either way, you're stuck with her until you can find a way to escape. You're now in a crowded square with many kiosks with Japanese street food. You and the girl try to blend in. You still don't know where you're going. All this delicious food makes your stomach rumble. But suddenly, you notice several men in masks following you. The girl holds your hand tight and drags you with her. They're now in front of you, trying to surround you. The girl opens a sewer hole, and you get down there. You choke on the unbearable stench and see that there are rats everywhere. The girl leads you through a narrow tunnel, and you end up in a place that looks like a tiny apartment. We're safe here for now, she says. You realize that you've begun to understand her. You sit down while she locks the door and looks through some cameras. The men can't find the entrance to her hiding spot. She lets out a sigh of relief and loosens up. She explains that you're the one who's going to lead them to victory. You're the chosen one. You tell her that you don't know who you are or how you got here. She's confused, realizing that you're telling the truth. But it's too late for you to leave. The men already know your face. They won't be easy on you. She explains that there's a group of people you need to meet, but they're staying quite far away. In the morning, you'll continue your journey. The next day, she makes you a nice breakfast, and off you go. During the day, it's safer to travel. There are too many people around that could be witnesses should something happen to you. So, she goes with the strategy of hiding in plain sight. You get into a wagon pulled by a cow-like creature. You enter a forest. The trees there are tall, their leaves large. The forest floor is dark, but covered with hundreds of colorful flowers. You reach the spot where you have to leave the wagon and proceed on foot. As you stroll through the thicket, you spot some magical creatures walking and flying around. Finally, you reach your destination. It's a cute little cabin that looks deserted. But the girl knocks on the door in a specific way, and the door opens. You and the girl enter, and suddenly, it's all black. For quite a long time, you can't see or hear anything. As soon as you reach the end of the tunnel, you spot some people dressed in strange outfits and ready to fight. They seem to be prepared for anything to happen. The girl explains to them that you're the chosen one and that you don't remember anything. You can't help but think, this can't be right. I'm nobody. All I know is that I don't belong here, and I can't trust them. I can't trust anyone in this bizarre world. I need to find a way to escape. But how? You look around. A woman in the dark corner wearing a hood over her head seems to understand your inner monologue. You maintain eye contact with her. You can't look away. It's as if she's inside your head. She somehow manages to show you the world in shambles. That's what will happen if you don't join them. You go to the middle of the room and tell them you're ready to lead them. The people around you get excited and come up with a plan. Back in the city, its inhabitants are celebrating some holiday. There are plenty of masked men patrolling the streets. You and your team gather behind a building to discuss where you have to go. The girl points at the building where she found you. You're confused. They say this is the headquarters you need to break into. You split up. You and the girl remain on the ground while the rest of the group move to the rooftops. There are masked men everywhere, so you wear a disguise to blend in. So far, so good. You've gone past the first line of guards, but the next part of your plan is tricky. Everyone who wants to enter the building has to go through security. One of your teammates on the rooftop causes a ruckus, which gets the attention of the guards. Most of them abandon their posts. Thanks to this commotion, you and the girl manage to break through the second line of guards. You're inside the building, ready to take down the leader. You ask the girl why you're going back and what makes this building so important. She tells you that you were taken hostage and she had to break you out. Unfortunately, the mission didn't work out last time because the leader wasn't there when she snuck in. But after she broke you out, security got tougher. The building is huge from the inside. You start feeling strange. It's as if you lived here in another life. Nothing feels real anymore. You turn around and look at the girl, but she's gone. One of the masked men finds you and chases after you until you end up in a dead end. The leader of the masked men approaches you and calls you by your name. He tells you that the girl who brought you here has betrayed you. You're conflicted and don't know who to trust. But suddenly, a voice inside your head tells you something, and then everything turns black.